Darkest Dungeon. This came out this Tuesday. I've been waiting for it for a while. It actually came out on Vita. Because the best friends did a video on it a couple of years ago, I think. And they had a lot of fun playing it from what I could see. And apparently it's been out via either early access or just out in general on Steam for a while, but it just came to PS4 this week. I have played a little bit of it already. There's some, I say decent headway, but there's a lot of objectives to do to beat the game, and I haven't gotten like the second one yet, because it takes a while to get to each individual objective. But I have had practice at this game, so I know like what different things mean. I know how to not totally screw myself over because I don't know what I'm doing. That being said, this is not an easy game, and this is probably one of the most dire game worlds I've ever seen before in my history. So things could still go terribly wrong or terribly right. We'll see. But for the sake of that, I'm going to start a different file so I don't feel like I'm screwing over my own, like, my progress here. So I'll call it Sure, why not? I don't know why I chose that. How close it is to the entire opening. We did it.
You will arrive along the old road.
Oh, no, you know what?
It winds with a troubling, serpent-like suggestion through the corrupted countryside.
I'm gonna shut up.
Leading only, I fear, to ever more tenebrous places. There is a sickness in the ancient pitted cobbles of the old road, and on its writhing path you will face viciousness, violence, and perhaps other damnably transcendent terrors. So steel yourself, and remember there can be no bravery without madness. The old road will take you to hell, but in that gaping abyss, we will find our redemption.
Okay, so there's a cutscene that shows up every time you start this game that I didn't end up getting because I was making the streaming post and everything like that. But there is a really easy way to go back and watch it, and I'll do that as soon as I get out of this tutorial area. That being said, the main gist of this is that your grandfather, when he was younger, and then in his attempt to gain more, he apparently released Cthulhu in his basement, or something of the like some kind of old god-ish horror. So now you, as his grandchild, are hiring heroes to come and help retake your birthright, and so this is you going back. This is you starting to go back to your birthright place or your birthplace or whatever, and it didn't go very well. So we just start out with these two here. I was trying to with more people, but I guess not. So this is pretty simple so far. So we got two people here. We got Reno and Dismas, who you always start out with.
Brigands have run up these lanes. Keep to the side path. The hamlet is just ahead. Dispatch this thug in brutal fashion, that all may hear of your arrival.
So yeah, combat's turn-based. You control each one of your different guys, and there's no way to tell who's going to go next, so you kind of have to hope a little bit. Player agency in this game is extremely limited, so a lot of times you just have to kind of hope for the best. But I shouldn't die in the tutorial. I hope not. I didn't when I was playing it earlier, so I should be fine. But it's interesting because the way this works is that your position and the enemy's position in their little lineups makes a huge difference. So you see that on the left side of open vein there, you got the little 3 yellow dots. Those mark where he can use that. Those mark where Dismas can use that certain ability. He can use open vein at. And then the red sides or the red dots are where he can hit with that ability. So he happens to be in the front row because there's only one person there. So, boom, and he didn't come to it. That's okay. Now we can hit with Reno, who has the same thing.
Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles.
Yeah. And we got loot. There's just a couple of coins. That's not that bad. And you know what? I wonder. So let's see. Don't they always start out with the same? So each of your characters has like little quirks here. Can be good or bad. So he's got Warrior of Light. So 10% damage if your torch, i.e. the thing up top there, is at 75%, which I don't know what it is, probably not for that much longer. And he's got God-fearing, shoot, there we go, God-fearing and Kleptomaniac. Stress relief we'll get into a little bit later when it's more applicable. Kleptomaniac, okay, so you must start with everyone on the same playthrough, because my version of Reno had that too. And then Dismas, we've got, there we go. Got Hard Noggin, so he resists stun pretty well, that's a good one. Quick reflexes, and Known Cheat. So he's faster, but he can't go gamble because he's an asshole. So, here he goes. Exploit off 5 narrative objects. Woo!
Leave nothing unchecked.
So that's
there
not
is
always a
much
good
to be
thing,
found
because a lot
in
of
forgotten
times...
places.
Yeah. You know what? I don't even have enough torch. Never mind.
An ambush.
A lot of times,
send these vermin a message.
Those little
the rightful owner has returned, and their kind is no longer welcome.
You know what? Let's do. And he is. Let's do this. No, you know what? Yeah, there we go. So he had a 50% chance of stunning or not, and now that he's been stunned, he has a bit more resistance to it. That being said, he should have a buff, so that probably is critical hit chance. So let's go ahead and try to whittle down this guy. Yeah, that was pretty good damage, and he's bleeding. And he got a debuff, so not very well. Nice, good job, guys. Now let's have you, because he's not, yeah, because his stun percentage at the bottom of like the resistances there under Brigand Bloodletter is now at 90% rather than like 50% that it was earlier. I think that buff only lasts a certain amount of time. Like if it's like around, yeah, there we go, it's gone. So if I wanted to, I could try stunning him again and have a higher chance of doing that. And he may bring a I don't like that guy's so fast. Oh, cool, he still has the buff. Alright. That's fine. Okay. So, oh, that's crap. Well, actually, that should be still fine, because they can still... Yeah, I can see. Nice.
Prodigious size alone does not dissuade the sharpened blade.
The new thing that wasn't in the version that Best Friends played on their videos. Basically, the guy's corpses don't just go away. They remain as an obstacle that you have to either like bash to get through, or use certain your abilities to get around entirely, or just like try to work around them. There's a few certain abilities and using different classes of characters that can just clear away all corpses immediately, which is super handy. But we shouldn't have to worry about that a whole lot right now, because Dismas and... Oh, there we go. Okay, so can you attack you at all? No. We're going to turn you guys around, so that way Dismas can attack the back. And...
Press this advantage.
There we go.
Give them no quarter.
Treasures. And we completed this quest. We're going to remain real quick because it doesn't automatically open this chest up. Yeah, that's what I thought. Well, it doesn't matter because he's already. The people have done the blankets to stay after that, so we're good. We got some money. We got some heirlooms, which are used for upgrading class abilities and other things we'll get to in just a moment. So now we're at
Welcome
the
home,
main hub world.
such as it is. This squalid hamlet, these corrupted lands, they are yours now, and you are bound to them.
Okay. It's hard to tell sometimes when he's done or not. You don't really need it. Okay, so yeah, so this is a little helpful thing. Okay. Okay. Just try with this. Okay. So one thing I was going to mention, because I don't think any of these businesses are open just yet. We will hold off on explaining stress and stuff like that until we get places to deal with that.
In time, you will know the
this.
tragic extent of my failings.
So this is the prologue. This is the cutscene that I mentioned at the beginning that we weren't able to see because of the I was making the streaming thing. So watch this. I'll shut up during it, and I'll be right back.
Ruin has come to our family. You remember our venerable house? Opulent and imperial, gazing proudly from its stoic perch above the moor. I lived all my years in that ancient, rumor-shadowed manor, fattened by decadence and luxury. And yet I began to tire of conventional extravagance. Singular, unsettling tales suggested the mansion itself was a gateway to some fabulous and unnameable power. With relic and ritual, I bent every effort towards the excavation and recovery of those long-buried secrets, exhausting what remained of our family fortune on swarthy workmen and sturdy shovels. At last, in the salt-soaked crags beneath the lowest foundations, we unearthed that damnable portal of antediluvian evil. Our every step unsettled the ancient earth. But we were in a realm of death, and in the end, I alone fled laughing and wailing through those blackened arcades of antiquity, until consciousness failed me. You remember our venerable house, opulent and imperial. It is a festering abomination. I beg you, return home, claim your birthright, and deliver our family from the ravenous, clutching shadows of the darkest dungeon.
That writing gives me chills. Like, I've got a fairly large vocabulary, I still don't know what half of those words, what some of those words mean.
Most will end up here, covered in the poisoned earth, awaiting merciful oblivion.
Yeah, I could see that. There's another art style that it also reminds me of, and I'll get to it in a minute once I get to the first, like,
Women and
area.
men, soldiers and outlaws,
Okay, so
fools
same classes, but
and corpses.
so,
All will find their way to us now that the road is clear.
I don't know what I can do about that. Hang on. Ooh. Alright. Maybe that's better? Is that better? Is this better so far?
What better laboratory than the blood-soaked battlefield?
Stagecoach network, I may as well.
More arrive, foolishly seeking fortune and glory in this domain of the damned.
A little, okay. Let's see. Oh crap, that's what I meant to do. There we go. Turn up a little bit more. There, how's this? Okay, how's this? It's a little bit better. I mean, granted, if you're able to hear the narrator over me, I don't mind that so much just because the narration's so good. But...
A mecca of madness and morbidity. Your work begins.
Okay, is that good? Okay. So... 4 heroes. Okay, that's pretty easy. So let's just... So we only got one place to go to. Technically. We can... I guess go here, but boy would it be a bad idea. So let's just start out by putting all our guys down there. So we got Reno. Got all the warriors. We got Dismas. We got Montefort. We got Regami. The usual suspects. I don't know for sure what that is, but I think it's like set groups of people. Okay, so I've already looked at Reno and Dismas. Let's get an idea of what the new guys are like. So we've got Montefort, who's a plague doctor, who is also a woman. I can't really tell with that, but it is mentioned in their little character descriptions in a later section. Let's see. So her quirks are Ruins Tactician, which is going to be really good because that's where we're going to. And Thin-Blooded, which she doesn't do Blight very well, which I think... okay, well... Well, that's alright. We'll get over it. Hi, Jesse. No, I can't actually hear you. Camping skills, won't get into that during this little... quick look. I barely got into that in my game just because I don't like going on I don't like the big long camping ones so much. But we need to look at Regami. Seeker Vestal, so basically like a warrior nun. You know what? I'm gonna move. There we go. Okay, that's bad. Oh. Red Hook. The name change. That's interesting. Okay, so let's look at Regami here. So she is unerring, so damage with range skills, which she has a couple of, I think. Stress faster, which means she doesn't eat when she gets stressed out, and will not pray or flagellate for stress relief. She's a faithless cleric. How does that work? Alright, whatever. Kind of wish she had this, but oh well. Illumination, so that's damage. Holy. Okay, well. Okay, so she's going to mainly stick to healing for the most part. Okay, so that being said, let's go ahead and provision. Oh no.